Hello everybody. Today I would like to show you the development plan for the MOCA for the next 3 years. So let me go ahead and share my screen so we can get started. I don't need to see myself. Okay. All right. So we are looking at the fiscal years 2021 through 2023. Okay. And we have identified these 3 categories of need: general operating funds, program-related funds, and fundraising events. With general operating funds, we know it's no secret that we have had a tougher year with COVID-19 hitting, and we've had to close our doors for about 6 months the previous year, and that came with layoffs and pay cuts as well. We've also decreased what we're able to do, trying to sort of save money where we can. We're only open 3 days a week now instead of the regular 5 that we used to be open. And we are definitely in a transitional period right now. Even with our original executive director stepping away and having a temporary fix for that right now. That's just a little bit of background I know all of you all are familiar with, but it's important to get that out in the open. Since we're tackling exactly what the MOCA needs, it's important to see what we might be struggling with and any issues that we might be having. Given it all, we're also growing despite all of those shortcomings and really just tough decisions and situations that no one thought we'd be in. We've upped our game with programming a little bit. We have expanded into the digital world like a lot of arts organizations have because of the pandemic as well. And so that's at least a very positive thing that's coming out of this. And we'd like to continue on that track and look at program-related funds and see that we can try to increase that in this 3-year plan. Next, we look at fundraising, and we will be talking about adding a new fundraising event that is a little bit more focused on building up our donors and volunteers, since our other annual fundraiser that we typically have and will continue to have is more focused on, of course, the financial aspect. Okay. All right, so here we're just looking a little bit at our financial goals. We mainly aim to keep a steady pace. Of course, we're thinking positively and looking to increase where we can in certain trends here. We are especially going to focus on those 3 areas, of course. Okay, so those were our financial goals, just a brief look at what those might look like number-wise, and then our non-financial strategic goals. I won't go through all of these, won't bore you too much, but we want to achieve more board participation. We would like to increase our means of diversity in all levels of our organization, as we saw with one of the recent conversations that MoCA has been involved in with the cancellation of one of our art exhibits. It's raised a lot of community questions and conversations that we're trying to engage in and answer and improve ourselves. So we have a little bit of that addressed in here. And that will also come from cultivating business partnerships. We want the community represented, whether that be in a partnership or as a volunteer or in the organization as a staff member or a board member or even a donor. So some of our big programs are artist talks, gallery tours, viewpoints, educational art workshops, and we've got, of course, some special events that encapsulate things that are outside of that main 4-point realm. And we just want to try to invest in this and continue. It will definitely be a very positive thing to come away from everything that we've gone through in the past year and still being able to invest in these regular programs and maybe even expand to more as time goes on. Right now, we're not in a situation to do that, but looking at a 3-year term, we hope to return a little bit back to what we were able to have and expand, including the things that we've been able to do because of our response to the pandemic and finding our way to include our digital programming and finding ways to make things more accessible to more of the community around us. Okay, and then we're visiting financial goals again. And we've got our overview of our strategic plan. This is not that different than what we try to do. It's just a more defined explanation of what this will look like. This goes over our, briefly over our typical annual gala and art auction, which is our single largest fundraising event. And then, of course, our proposed event that I mentioned earlier. It's more of a fundraiser focused event. It will be at the opposite end of the year. So this will be in the fall, whereas our regular one is in the spring. And we just want this to be a time to showcase our museum, show its importance, be able to engage and hopefully find those volunteers and even donors. And to offset this, of course, we want to find sponsors and keep it reasonable, especially starting out, and just sort of grow this event over the next 3 years. Okay. And then, of course, we go a little bit more into planned giving. Let me stop sharing my screen for a second. Okay. Sorry, I can't talk without having the water right in my hand. So that's a general look over our development plan. I may have talked too long, so I might need to wrap this up super quick. Okay, but let me Just give us a look over. Okay. All right, but overall, we want to address how we can grow as an organization, become better and able to better represent our community as a whole. We are definitely involved in a lot of conversations about that specific thing right now. We would like to engage more with our volunteers, just like that fundraiser. The new proposed event is focused more on. I think those are our general overarching focuses. And just take into account where we're coming from and where we would like to end up. Okay, thank you.